Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about some tips for growing tulips like a pro. That's right, these are 5 simplistic tips and they will help you grow your tulips like a pro. Now you can grow tulips inside in a vase, but these tips are going to be more geared towards growing tulips outside when you plant them in the ground in the soil. So let's get into these tips. I'm going to go through these quickly, so pay attention. Utilize them, and you'll have the best tulips in the neighborhood. So number one is that better soil will give you better results with regards to blooming and growing your tulips. So that's right, if you plant your tulips in garbage soil, you're going to have garbage results. They're still going to grow, right? But they won't grow well. They won't flourish, right? They will survive. They will not thrive. We rhyme all the time, okay? So essentially, if you want your tulips to do really well, then you need to plant them in good soil. Loose soil, fresh soil. You want to use the best soil that you can get your hands on, basically. Tip number 2 is to plant many of them together. Number 1, they're going to look better if you do that. But number 2, they'll give each other the right amount of sun blockage. Now, they should be planted in full sun, which I'll go over in a moment, but you do want them to have a tiny percentage of the sun being blocked, basically at the beginnings and the ends of the day. So when the sun is rising and when the sun is setting, it would be ideal if they could have a little bit of sun blockage. And by planting a lot of them together, they're going to give each other that sun blockage. Or you can also plant them nearby other flowers that are of a similar height, okay? So and that brings us to tip number 3, which is to plant them in full sun as much as possible. Now, like I said, they grow best in full sun, so you want to plant them where they're going to get the maximum sun exposure, but keep them nearby other plants so they get a little bit of sun blockage at the beginning and the ending of the day. It's just a little tip that I've found that basically has helped me grow my tulips a little bit better than I can do it on average, okay? So yeah, plant them in full sun as much as you can. Tip number 4 is to plant them in the autumn before the spring that you want them to bloom. So tulip bulbs are planted in the autumn and then they end up popping up in the spring. They need that coldness to sort of get them to bloom. So plant them in the autumn before the spring following that you want them to bloom. So if you want them to bloom in this spring, you're going to plant them the autumn before that. Very simple. Last but not least, tip number 5 is to choose well-draining soil. Now, here's what I have to say about that. In my house, we have a few different flower beds and growing areas for flowers, plants, vegetables, blah, blah, blah. So one of the flower beds at the front of the house is raised up, and then we have a few other ones that are on ground level. Now, the one that is raised up, it's like a stone flower bed, so it's raised up probably about 1.5 feet. It has really good draining soil because it's raised up, right? So it's above the grade of everything else. And the tulips that I planted in that soil are literally performed much better than the tulips that they bloomed much better than the tulips that I planted 6 feet over to the side. Same amount of sun, same amount of everything, same amount of water, but the soil was better draining. So planting them in well-draining soil will give you the best results. And that is truly it. Those are some tips for growing tulips like a pro. If you want to make your soil well-draining, even if it's not well-draining soil, you want to make it drain better, just dig a little bit deeper than you're planting the tulips and loosen that soil. And then, fill it back in, and that'll give you good draining soil. That's it. Those are tips for growing tulips like a pro. Outside, you're going to have the best tulips in the neighborhood. If you like this video tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. I almost ate that tulip. That was pretty close. I was like, right like that. Anyways, we're going to try that again. If you like this video tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.